About a year and a half ago, my husband and I decided to experiment with raising chickens. But instead of ordering 2 to 3 hens like a normal household of 2, the delivery costs were the same to order 15-day-old chicks. So naturally, that's what we did.
They shipped from Ohio at 9:30 last night.
4, 12, 17, 18, 19. So it's only been 19 hours.
They all look healthy.
Yeah, I know.
The chicks stayed in a brooder box with a heating plate for the first 10 days. And once they had clearly outgrown the box, we moved them into a larger cage.
We got Buff Orpingtons, Rhode Island Reds, Green Queens, Easter Eggers, and Black Australorps, and Hard Rocks.
It was hard to differentiate the breeds at first. They all looked like little dinosaurs. Actually, chickens, along with other birds, are considered the closest modern relatives to the omnivorous reptiles that roamed the Earth 68 million years ago. As egg-laying nest makers, chickens have similar character traits and bone structure to some dinosaurs, and even have molecular links to the T-Rex. I can see why. As they grew into their feathers, we also began to witness as they grew into their notable and often individualistic behaviors. Before releasing the young chickens from an enclosed barn space, we clipped their wings so they could free range in about 3,000 square feet of pasture, sowed with poultry-friendly seeds like clover, alfalfa, field peas, and common flax. We read to only clip their wings on one side. That way, they are somewhat lopsided when trying to fly. We live in an urban area, so figuring out tricks to keep them within the designated pasture was important. But we soon observed their strong legs for jumping, and despite our efforts, they could still fly quite well. We also learned that one of the hens was actually a rooster. And because waking up our neighbors at the crack of dawn was not an option, we made the hard decision to harvest him. Using all its parts, a whole chicken can nourish us for up to 10 meals. As the weeks went by, we decided to continue downsizing our flock by selling a handful of hens to other local hobby farmers. We continued observing classic chicken behavior, like digging,
Foraging for insects, which make up approximately 20% of their diet.
foraging for their preferred plants, sunbathing. Chickens bask in the sun and roll on their side to take in vitamin D, which is needed for healthy egg production. Roosting. Their pecking order of hierarchy. Dust bathing. Chickens dust bathe every day for hygiene purposes. This is to rid themselves of any mites and to soak up excess oil and moisture in their feathers. And afterwards, preening their feathers. And of course, egg laying. Sometimes in very mysterious places. This is the call they make after laying an egg. We're not sure if it's to announce their amazement at popping one out of sheer pride, or if intentional breeding played a part in this classic chicken trait. The 5 breeds of chicken we got are Rhode Island Reds, which we sold before they began laying, Barred Rocks, which lay brown eggs with a sort of white speckled calcium on the shell, Buff Orpingtons, a dual-purpose breed that lay brown eggs, Easter eggers, whose eggs have a bluish hue to them, green queens, all of which look very different and lay eggs in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. And lastly, black australorps, which lay longer shaped brown eggs. We are grateful to keep egg-laying hens and have access to fresh eggs each day, especially given the state of the industrial food system in the US. The difference between a pasture-raised chicken and a caged chicken, from the quality of their life to the nutritional value of their bounty, is multifold. By nature, poultry are not meant to live in confinement and be fed soy and corn in one way to produce eggs out the other. In fact, their ability to run around, bask in the sun, and forage, this is what determines the chickenness of a chicken, a phrase coined by the American farmer Joel Salatin. Chickens can be raised as an integral part of a homestead or even a small backyard garden. In this way, household food waste can be transformed into nutritious eggs and manure that fertilizes the soil with rich nitrogen. From vegetable ends to fruit leftovers, expired food, and even their own eggshells, 95% of our food scraps are repurposed into healthy and sustainable eggs. By raising chickens, we are attempting to participate in a symbiotic loop that benefits human, animal, and earth, where all needs are abundantly met and sunlight is given its proper place as the primary energy source. With the exception of some supplemental feed that egg layers need, by consuming pasture-raised eggs, you are also reducing your reliance on fossil fuels. 90% of a chicken's diet can be made from free or recycled energy, and pasture-raised eggs do not require refrigeration or extensive transportation. In terms of the nutritional value of a pasture-raised egg, a chicken's diet of grass, weeds, insects, and seeds make for a richly nutritious egg profile with high concentrations of vitamins and minerals. Eggs contain vital nutrients that humans use for brain, heart, and eye health. This foray into small-scale poultry farming has us wondering, what would it look like to have thousands of local farms producing most of the food we eat? And what if we were less removed from the origins of our food? What would our health statistics and our society look like then? Waking up to the reality of our modern culture of consumption, the question that we find ourselves probing is, at what cost have we achieved such abundance? The interconnectedness of our earthly species and habitats is fragile, as are the health markers of our society. These are the philosophical considerations that this journey of raising chickens has showed us so far. It's quite literally food for thought.